I'm gonna take this bait, I'm gonna show you how I grind down that hinge, and then we're gonna go to the lake. You guys gotta watch this. Oh, they're trying to eat up the surface. Oh! Oh, got him. What is up, MFers? In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can take this $25 6 cents flow glider, make a small modification to it, and have it acting as good as any $200, $300, $400 little glide bait on the market. I got a lot of great feedback from you guys on last week's video where I broke down what glide baits work in what situations, what applications for them, where you should throw them, and how they look in the water. And I showed you guys a little modification on this bait right here and the 6 cents draw that completely changes the action of the bait. A lot of you guys were asking for it. You didn't understand what I meant when I was talking about chopping it with the rotary tool. And so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this bait, I'm gonna show you how I grind down that hinge, and then we're gonna go to the lake and see if we can get some feedback from some big old slaunches. First things first, let's take this out of the package and I'll show you in the pool how this guy will swim out the gate. The great thing about this bait is it's called the Flow Glider 130 because it is 130 millimeters, which is right about 5 inches. That might seem massive, might seem huge to a lot of you guys, but in the swim bait realm of things, it is a very, very small bait and a great bait if you guys are just getting into swim baits. You don't need a crazy rod or anything. You can throw it on a ton of different rods. This is the 7.7 heavy from 6 cents. You can throw it on like a 7.2 medium heavy if you wanted to. If that's all you had that was a crankbait rod, that Milliken rod would be really good for this. Regardless, you don't have to buy a specialized rod. It's a great way to get out there and fish it. The problem is I haven't fished this bait a whole lot in the past because I'm not crazy about the action out the gate. And as I explained last video, to be fair to this bait, it was designed and released when glide baits weren't really mainstream. We didn't have a lot of information. There weren't a lot of other really good ones on the market. And this bait has actually been one of 6 cents best sellers because it catches giant fish. People use this even at pressured fisheries like Lake Fork and catch double digits on this bait as is. So there's nothing wrong with it, but I can make it a little bit better based on the experiences I've had with some of these glide baits. Let's take a look at it in the water really quick. So for a lot of you guys that watched the video the other day, this is just gonna be on repeat, but basically on a straight retrieve, this guy's gonna give you just a little bit of side to side action, maybe 6 inches, 8 inches each direction, and that's it. But I like to fish these little swim baits with what they call a chop, where you twitch it side to side. And as you can see, this bait doesn't look super balanced or impressive when you're giving it any sort of twitches like I've been crushing fish on lately. The good news is, in just a couple minutes, we can completely change that and make this thing absolutely incredible. Let's go get to grinding. Okay, time to show you guys this really quick mod. I'm not gonna take too long on this because it's very, very simple. And we're gonna get to the lake and test this bait out and try to catch some fish. Basically, the goal is to try to get it like this draw that I've also been messing around with some modifications, where this top joint is about at a blunt 90-degree angle. As you can see right now, lots of restriction of movement. We want to eliminate that. We want it to be able to bend similar to how this draw is right here. Here is how we are going to achieve that. This is the rotary tool. It's super expensive. I think it's like $12 on Amazon. I got this so long ago, I have no idea if it still exists, but it works really well. Very simple tool. I'll link one down below. Let me see if on Amazon, which one I think would be good. This one might actually still be on there. It is a Win product. I know there's a lot of those on Amazon. Came with this original kit. It's got all sorts of different fittings. This main roller ball one is a very, very good one. Since I started making this mod, I just went on Amazon and I actually purchased this entire kit with all these roller balls and all these sander attachments. I think it was $7, and this probably would give you like a damn lifetime supply of what you would need to modify a lot of different baits. And then I also got these guys right here. This probably isn't necessary. I just want to see how they would work, like a carbide bit set to kind of get into finer areas if I want to work on any little joints and opening those areas and stuff. Not necessary. I can link it. I think this was like $8 also. Very cheap stuff for all this rotary guy. But before we start, disclaimer, you're cutting stuff There's sharp hooks, there's plastic flying. Be responsible, don't do stupid stuff. I would strongly suggest removing the hooks before you do this, but I'm not smart, so for the sake of the video, I'm not going to. Again, this isn't a ton of torque you're putting on this bait and this plastic or anything, so the chance of this kicking out or something like a big piece of wood or a really hard material is not very good. Just be careful. Please be careful, folks. So basically, you can use a cutting attachment. I got this little saw blade guy that I've been using. It's way faster, but a lot less margin for error than grinding it down by sanding. So when you're starting with this, I would strongly suggest doing some sanding attachments. And another question I keep getting about the draw and this flow glider right here is there enough plastic in that joint right there to keep it from busting a hole in it? The answer is yes, there is, but you have to be careful again. If you cut it at that perfect 90-degree angle to where that joint starts right there in the middle, straight from there, you shouldn't have an issue. I did chop a draw a little too far the other day. It has a little tiny microscopic hole. It's a $75 bait. This is a $25 bait, which again is not a cheap, ultra cheap bait. In the swim bait world, a $25 bait, especially how we're gonna make it perform as opposed to some of the other $200 plus baits, is not expensive, but still, you don't wanna wreck that bait. The great thing is I can take some 5-minute epoxy, patch that little hole up. I could even coat the whole thing if I wanted to, and that draw is gonna be able to be used immediately. What I'm saying is, go easy until you get this figured out. I'll show you how you can do that. All right, very simple. I'm gonna take a little bit off. I'm gonna slowly make a line of how I'm gonna cut this joint. And we're gonna start sending. Oh, also, almost forgot myself. Use some safety glasses. Again, probably not gonna kick out, probably not gonna come hook your eyeball. It could, and it also is definitely going to send a lot of plastic in the direction of my face. You guys are seeing a bunch of plastic on my shirt here in a second. Less is definitely more to start. You can always take more after. Okay, we got the piece out right there. That was actually a really nice, clean cut. If you guys want to look at that up close, give Cole a chance to zoom in there. Cole, you got it figured out? You understand what an angle looks like? So basically at that point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look in there. I'm going to see where there's any restriction to that joint, where it's going to catch first off. And it's actually not anywhere, which is nice. The only thing that's holding it up a little bit is out of the box, these joints can be a little bit constricted and sticky. So you can actually bend it this way and this way, back and forth a few times, and that opens it up pretty quick as well. And the more that this thing flexes, the more it's going to be able to work. But I think that might actually have done it first cut. Let's chop the other side. You can already see how big of an angle we got on that bait, and we'll never be able to see it actually. We're already starting to look similar to the draw, but we need to open up both sides and then see if we need to do any work to the joints to open them up a little bit. How long did that take, Cole?
7 minutes.
From the start of me talking though too. Probably took, what, 2 minutes of me cutting? Not bad. All right, other side. Another thing I didn't mention to be careful of, obviously, is not to cut the joint with the blade by going too far, which I didn't do. I'm just saying. I could see myself doing it. But we actually are almost there. We almost got her figured out. I'm gonna cut I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a microscopic, there's a little lip right there that always occurs right there, and that is the highest point where it's catching. So this is a great opportunity where you could use these little carbide guys just to get in there tight. This bit won't fit in there unless you have a really small sanding guy, but I'm just going to use the blade once again. Perfect. Yahtzee. Bingo. You bet. All of the above. Should loosen that joint up a little bit. Be ready for the pool. Okay, here we are back at the pool. As you can see, a blunt angle right there on the front half. Let's see what she looks like using that chopping motion. As you can see, we can almost walk it in place. If you guys want to know where to use this action, you're about to see a little bit of it on the water, hopefully, but go back to that last video. I'll link it below, and I talk more in that video about where to apply this type of action. But that is incredible. Whether you're at the biggest lake in the country fishing for schoolers or you fish a little tiny pond, that's going to be absolutely money. And then once again, I told you guys in the last video about this secondary action, burning it and then killing it. This bait, super great motion on a straight retrieve, and then it kicks out. Watch this. Cover water with that thing, Cole. I mean, that thing freaking, it's like a trace. Trace sales are about to go down. $12 in 5 minutes of your time. One thing left to do. Let's go to the lake, see what the fish think. All right, let's see if these suckers want to play today. Here's what we got up on the front deck. We got see-through flow glider with the modification. We got shiny flow glider with the modification. And then I got two draws up here, which I've also tinkered with a little bit. I decided to go with a opaque shad color. And that's the little custom paint Casey did for me. A little see-through color. Nothing too crazy about it, just very natural looking color. And we're gonna see if there's some fish that'll cooperate and give some good feedbacks with the little change I did there. I think it's gonna work, just by the way it looks in the water. If it doesn't, I'm a frick idiot. You guys already knew that. I'm throwing these on two different rods. I'm not sure how they will work, honestly, with these rods. This rod is the 7.6 medium moderate new movement series from 6 Cents, which is made for some reaction style baits. I've been throwing a lot of hair jigs actually on this rod. It's been really good for hair jigs. I haven't been on a really good hair jig bite since I started throwing it a lot, but I don't know. Let's see how it works for this. I like the nice parabolic action. It's got a little bit light of line on it for me. Line is only 14 pound, I think, which is a little bit scary in these timbers, but maybe set the drag a little bit. Screw that. Let's rip some. Oh. Came up and smoked that draw. God dang, was not ready for that. Oh no! Dang it. Still on it. Ugh. Big one too. Blasted the draw. Shoot. Keep throwing. Oh no! Did you guys see that? Oh, just eating it so weird today. No, damn it. That was like a 6-pounder. I don't like that. Got it. No. Get in here. Whew. Just roaming out here. No, stay. Dude, that was the craziest catch. Look at that fish. Oh my goodness. On the modified little shad. Whew. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Sweet. All right, we got one to go. We've had a lot of near bites, near misses. I guess if we're gonna get one to go, might as well be a 6-pounder. Hell yeah. These fish just aren't doing it today, guys, but they are on this thing so hot. They're just not biting, they're not schooling, they're down in the water column, which does not lend itself well to a bait I want to chop within the top 3 feet of the water column. I've now moved up a little bit onto some of these grass edges. I'm still in 15 to 25 feet of water, but I'm looking for fish higher in the water column that are kind of attacking bait a little bit shallower, so I can get this guy down to him. So far, like, I'm loving the feedback from the fish. They're losing their minds. You can clearly tell they just haven't seen anything this size chopping back and forth like that. Oh, there's a good little wolf pack of them right there. But it's just really tough to target them with this bait right now because they are deep, except for these guys. There we go. That one got it. That one got it. That's a pretty good fish too. Man, there's a school of fish right there. They must have been sitting there waiting to ambush right on top of the edge of a grass line. Yeah, it's a solid fish for sure. 4-pounder. Whew. Easy. I ain't giving up yet, guys. I got a damn tournament I need to get to. I should be giving up, but I ain't doing it. You guys saw that retrieve too. Chop, 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 chop. In your face with the little guy. Flow glider. I'll link it below, guys. Thing's badass. All right, those guys acted like they were too small for the little shad after they followed their buddy to the boat when I caught him. Let's see if we can get them to eat the draw. Oh man, they're following the dang boat. It's not ideal. Oh, they're trying to eat up the surface. Come get it. Oh my God, they almost ate it off the surface. Woo. Screwed that one up. Should just let it go when they started blasting it on top. Instead, I just picked it up, took it from them. Here you go, buds. Oh no, they went the other way. You guys gotta watch this. Oh! Wow, my bait's all fouled. No! How cool is that? Minus me screwing it up. The majority of the school didn't see it yet though, so maybe they'll bite it. Dang, man, that was nuts. Well, as you guys can see, they ate it. They haven't been biting as good at that lake as they were before, but this bait catches fish. It fooled a really big one, and I'm gonna catch a lot of fish on that for a long time. The great thing is I just stopped by 6 Cents, picked up a bunch of them, and look at all these awesome colors we got just to match anything. We got natural, transparent shad colors. We got bluegill colors. We got badass see-through colors with scales, opaque with scales, a chrome color like the one we modified and used today, just a regular shad bait fish, another flashy shad style, absolutely killer bait. Whether, again, you're on a big reservoir, you're at a pond, this is a great pond bait, and it's something I'm gonna apply a whole lot more in my fishing. I'll link it down below. Of course, use code MF10. And I wanna know how many of you guys are gonna go out and purchase these. So if you guys go out and you buy some of these flow gliders, you wanna try them out, or the draw for that matter too, I'll link that below. You can make the same mod on that. Again, go back to the previous video and see what the action changes like on that bait. When you order, send me a screenshot on Instagram or Facebook and a message of your order. I'll repost that some bitch. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm out of here. Peace.